This is the Conspiracy Commission Podcast.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Conspiracy Commission. Thank you for listening. Today's topic: Apollo 11 moon landing. Is it fake? Is it
Never
real?
heard of it.
We're gonna talk about
To the
different
moon.
theories about it, some debunks,
To
some
the
cool
moon,
conspiracies, some videos, some pictures. We got it all today.
Got a couple things here. What do we?
Where do we want to start with it?
Yeah, what are
you
we in
know?
particularly talking about? Apollo 11 moon landing. Where are we referring to us going to the moon and then coming back again? A lot
Did
of people,
the landing take place?
A lot of people.
Was it manned?
A lot of people believe that didn't happen. It's not real, and there's there's others who believe that there was reasons why we had to fake it to make it. That there was a big reason why. I don't know. Maybe we touched on some of that. Kubrick says that he was involved in, this is a very odd situation here. Kubrick says, "Look, I was involved in helping them fake the moon landing."
He's the director.
Stanley Kubrick. He's
Movie
the one
director.
who made Eyes Wide Shut. He made 2001
Space
Odyssey. He did. He also did The Shining with Jack Nicholson, where Jack Nicholson breaks down a door, sticks his face in. Iconic. Here's Johnny.
There's actually
You've seen
some
that
Apollo plugs in that movie too.
Yeah.
Right? There's
Yeah,
like
the
rocket
room
ships
they're
or
in,
something. on the
211 or something like that.
Yeah, like the room number was like the amount of
Miles away from Earth.
Yeah, the moon is.
The little boy's wearing a blue sweatshirt that says NASA on it when he's riding through the halls and bumps into the twin sisters.
Not even that. It says Apollo 11 on it too.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, specifically.
Interesting. Very, very.
So he's the guy so what's his role? I know.
Stanley Kubrick is the director.
So if it was fake, he directed it.
That's what they're saying. They're saying
He's claiming that they hired
he was
him.
a young man. He was saying in his young years, and he was very hungry to get out his creativity. So he viewed it as a challenge to try and do this. So he went along, and he told them. At first, he said no, like a ton of times, and then apparently he got invited to go see Reagan. I think.
I thought it was Nixon.
Nixon. Sorry,
Yeah.
Nixon. Yeah, you're right, Nixon. And he sits down with Nixon, and Nixon, commends him on his movie and says that it was a great movie, and he says, coming up, we got to go to the moon and stuff, and we're about to get there, but we just need your help, we got to go.
But this is way later on before we decide to go to the moon, right? How do we get there?
No, this was like during.
Well, yeah, because
you're in the
if
space race with Russia.
Because this is what happens. John F. Kennedy makes a statement and says that we're going to go to the moon not because it's easy, but because it is hard. All right?
He did say that.
And he makes the statement, right, David? He makes the statement, which lays out, the plans and the work for this to transpire, that this is everybody, American people. This is what your hard tax dollars.
We're gonna do it.
This is what your hard tax dollars are doing. They're hard at work, going to the moon because we're gonna get there, and
Which could be part of the whole illusion too, man. Right? Like, what if that
Kennedy,
whole thing? Yeah.
the whole Kennedy speech and everything about it.
What if it is, right? So I mean, if this was faked, right? Like, what better way to cement it as it's definitely gonna happen and make it more real for people?
Then have
The president
John
doesn't
F.
make some
Kennedy's
bombastic statement like that, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just interesting. That's very interesting.
But I heard there was a space race.
Yeah.
Why? What was the race about?
It's between the U.S.
this
and
is
Russia.
what it was like bleeding into that, right? Like
We're in the Cold War
Yeah.
with Russia. We're in a arms race with them, essentially. And then they make it to space first with Sputnik.
And
They
everybody's
put the first
freaking out.
satellite in there, into orbit or whatever, manned satellite, I think it is.
I think we're missing one part of JFK's speech too, where he said that they want to get to the moon by the end of the decade.
Oh yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that is important.
So he put like a timestamp on
Yeah,
it too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's what. So it's like now they're on a crunch. You know, they have to get this done. You know, but apparently, like, science keeps coming back, and science is like, bro, no, we can't do this. Like, there's so many things that are gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
Just
we have
like-
the UFOs, guys. We can't show you those yet. So sorry, there's nothing we can do. We have to figure out some new way. You're gonna have to give us $60 billion.
Well, and just like how everything else in the government, whatever the price is, it ends up being more than that.
Yeah.
Of course,
By a lot.
of course.
We scrubbed our imagine that. Imagine you are like a contractor and you're like, yeah, it's gonna cost this much to do it, and then you like triple the price on the person. Yeah, well, if you really want to get it done,
We've already started. I mean,
Just fill my bank account. Just fill it up to the brim.
No, just stop putting money in and don't stop.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
You just continuously drip.
Unreal, dude. Right? So now what happens? So
gotta-
now, right? We go to the moon. Right? And we're up there and
Well, they do-
Wait
No,
a
no,
second.
they do a
Hold
bunch of
on,
missions,
I
right?
gotta pause you. That we go to the. How would we have the technology even build something like this at the time?
I mean,
I don't know if we got the technology at that time
think about it.
to get them from here. What's that outer layer they're talking about?
the Van Allen
The
belt.
Van Allen belt.
radiation belt.
So they're supposed to die when they go through that, right?
Right. It's supposed to be
It's
dangerous.
word on the street.
So we haven't got to the moon yet.
It's word on
We
the
gotta
street.
get on the ship first.
Word on the street.
Right. So I mean, well, this is what? This is Apollo 11. So we have missions before this, where like they're doing all like the testing stuff for this, right? They
Mhm.
claim, like each one of these
Because they can
missions
go,
before it was like, all right, you're going to be doing these various tasks, right?
but they've never gone that far.
Well, I think they definitely got through the Van Allen belt.
Oh no, they had done that before.
I don't know with people. There's
Yeah,
like
I don't
think,
think with people because they
think-
didn't know. They thought the radiation would kill them.
the Gemini one, I think, is what NASA says is they figured out all their stuff they needed to know about how to like protect stuff from the Van Allen belt, and they mention in that they need significant like shielding because there's these high energy or low energy protons that can damage you, I guess.
Yeah, the
I don't know.
radiation.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Talking about the radiation.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone interprets that like high, like shielding, large shielding as like thick lead, and that clearly wasn't on the fucking lunar modules and shit.
Yeah, on the landing module.
Yeah, I
For
heard the
their
only
return.
reason that scientists believe there's no true evidence. The only reason that scientists believe now that they can get through is because the astronauts went through and they're fine. But there's no other evidence that them going through it, they wouldn't get that radiation other than the fact that they didn't have it.
Yeah, this is a 9, bro, where they're figuring out how
But
to
if they didn't go, then
do the maneuvers and everything on all these fucking dog shit computers, bro.
But so these are all the Apollo ones. Hold on one second.
those were the ones before, the unmanned ones.
But so these are just specifically the Apollo ones. I mean, these I think are all even earlier. I don't know. Wait.
67.
Saturn. These are all like whatever these are. Little Joe. These are all before the Apollo mission.
Wow. We were sending stuff up in the 60s early.
Yeah, 61. I think that was the first one. What? But these are just like this is like, all right, they're testing how their rockets all work and shit. And then I think it was Apollo to demonstrate the design and to certify its safety for men was Apollo 5. But it's like I was trying to find like, because you had mentioned earlier that like, did they send stuff to the moon before they got there, or no? Like that was
Yeah, that was the
Some
question.
stuff-
but
some
that had
stuff
more
was-
to do about cameras and everything. But I mean, maybe they did
Yeah.
send stuff if they were doing I mean, you would assume they would have sent something to the moon, right?
Yeah.
If they were quote unquote going to do it, they had to sent something there before just to make sure they could get there.
Well, I mean, there was some things that stuck out, you know, that were interesting. The rocks they were saying that they tested that they brought back.
Yeah,
right?
those were interesting.
The rocks that they tested that supposedly they brought back were, you know, unlike anything on this planet, you know, because we're protected, you know, by the Van Allen radiation belt. So we're protected by that. So if anything on this planet.
But NASA is by the poles, bro, where the magnetic fields are the weakest, dude. What if somehow they got some rocks that had been hit with some type of radiation?
I mean, I guess anything is possible.
They could have got those fucking rocks from the aliens.
Could have just asked them to bring them some, right? Just bring me some rocks, you know, so I can make the boys believe this whole fiasco. You know,
I mean, it could have been a meteor. It could have just been from a meteor at some point in time.
You know how fast those things are going, dude.
That's how crazy.
They said they went down and they got them in Antarctica. Isn't that what they said?
That's what one of the videos was talking about.
No, I mean, from what I understand, they brought rocks back and they tested them, and there was mega amounts of radiation in these rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
Or some kind of, and then there's like some kind of like something happened to them because of it sitting on the surface being, you know, rocked all day long by.
So that couldn't have been faked by scientists?
No, they were saying that it couldn't be, because there's nothing on this planet that is being on a daily basis, you know, subjected to that type of weathering on the rock. So it's like, obviously any moon rock is going to be different.
I thought it was like they broke it open. They saw these like melted pieces of glass. They like analyzed it and like released gas or something. And it was like, it was like 2.8 billion years old or something, or 300 million years old. Something ridiculous, right?
Well, and the only way it was able to do that is if it was like hit by some like large amount of radiation on the moon that wouldn't have been achieved. That couldn't be achieved on Earth because of the protection.
We're talking about whether the moon landing is fake, but this is a lot easily fakeable by saying, "Oh, yeah, this is what it is."
I was like, I'm like, dude, like, there's got to be like some way that you could like replicate those results here. Like, what if they just like, all right, we're gonna put it in a fucking.
What if they
we're just gonna bombard this shit with fucking radiation in one of our labs or something?
They just made something up. They created something and told you.
Paid someone off.
This
like,
is what it is.
Here you go.
This is from the moon.
This is from the moon. It's from the moon, right? It's from the moon.
I mean, I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you, right? But I think it could be. I think it could be done.
If you've never seen anything from the moon, how would you know it's not from the moon?
Could be possible.
No, but I find this statement that I seen in the thing very, very interesting. You know, guy says, you know, the only reason why you think the moon landing was fake and didn't happen, Apollo 11, is because of the fact that, you know, you don't really believe in the government. You know, it's like, so now it's easy to think that the whole thing is preposterous and we never went, you know, because of how much you distrust the government, right? Like it's like a psychological thing. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
If you don't believe
oh yeah,
in your government, you don't believe them, then obviously it's easy to overlook the truth. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
If there is truth there.
But I think that depends on.
Right? Like, wouldn't you?
I think it depends on the person, because you can believe in one thing,
no, that's
but
not true.
Still not believe in the.
No, that's not true. I mean, it all depends on where the information's coming from, right? Because if predetermined, the person giving you the information you don't respect or don't care, that truth or false, truth or lies are gonna roll right off you. You're not gonna retain.
I agree. It's just like you got to be aware of biases, right, and look at stuff analytically and not get emotional.
But your independent investigation, by looking 100%. At it, if
like you could easily just turn it
way,
around the same way, right? Like
right, but almost everything that you said that the reason why the moon landing was fake, like I watched everyone debunk every single one of them. Like I haven't seen one yet, like not one. Other than the ones that NASA admitted to.
What about the craters?
But that's what it is for me. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, but I told you that whole shot, they did that on perp. That's what they said. Like that whole.
They said like
shot.
The surface could be reflective of light too, and that's why you have different like shadows.
Well, it is
in weird ways.
They were saying like, yeah, it is. They tried to recreate the same video camera to try to get the stars right, and they couldn't.
By like turning up the exposure and stuff.
No, they put the camera and everything at what it was when it recorded, and it didn't record stars on Earth when you could see stars.
Yeah, I mean,
the camera wasn't meant to pick up light like that, the small little luminance of light, because of how bright everything in the white suit was going to be.
I don't remember what all the different settings on the camera were, but they said that the astronauts had like extensive testing with it. There was like a way for them to click this shit over to change view, like what range they were taking it at.
And what hertz and stuff like that. I mean, look.
And then the pictures they got, I haven't looked at all 5,000 whatever fucking pictures that they apparently have.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures.
I can't take good pictures with my hands.
But yeah, like that whole operating that and having some of those pictures turn out like as good as they did, it's a little sus.
I feel like that's
I mean, dude,
it sounded pretty easy the way the guy described it, though. It's already mounted to your suit. All you got to do is turn a dial a couple times and then push a button.
Yeah.
But think about like all the moon pictures you see that are like, oh my God, right? There's like, what, 10? And you just said there's 5,000.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, I'm sure out of those 5,000, there are a lot that are like, the fuck was he taking a picture of?
Some of them are like very, I don't know, like pretty decent though. But like, and then, I don't know, dude, the whole fucking, dude, these pictures just show this thing and it looks fucking like immaculate, bro.
Thing is like, I'm not professional photographer.
There's no fucking dust, dude. There's no nothing, bro. Like, I don't understand the whole dust scenario. Why isn't that shit flying around?
But I guess isn't nothing.
Because it's in a vacuum. There's no like on Earth, right? You hit a thing, you hit some dust up, and it makes a cloud, and it kind of like turbulates, right? But there's no air on the moon, so it's like you hit the dust, it immediately just falls back.
But the fucking rockets were generating like thousands of like pound thrust when they fucking come in and land, dude.
Yeah, look, it's still kicked up dust, but it doesn't kick it up how it would on Earth.
But dude, like these pictures, bro, there's like the crater doesn't really look like that at all. It doesn't look like it fucking blew out dust anywhere. Like it
left a little crater, right?
Dude, it's like barely anything.
But again,
bro.
like Ed said,
like it looks like you had like a small campfire.
You said that they admitted to.
Yeah, the whole one scene is like, it's not real. They said. I don't know. You got to watch that one.
We'll see some of these pictures.
That one documentary with Stephen Greer. It's a very interesting take on why.
And then like
they had to do what they had to do.
The footprints that they make.
They didn't want the American people seeing fucking pyramids on the moon.
The footprints, bro. Like it looks like they're just sitting in like sugar sand, bro. Like and it's an inch thick, man. And so it's like, dude, that's got to be like such fine dust on there.
It's interesting. I mean, the technology of the computing. I mean, think about it back then, right? Like in the 60s, like computers weren't for sale. Like nobody had a computer at home back then, right? And computers were taking up like the size of buildings to compute and like do formulas and go through,
like look at this, right? Doesn't this shit looks like fucking sand, right, man? I mean, like if you're coming down and your rocket is shooting 1,000 fucking pounds of force down to the fucking ground.
That should make
Yeah, but we don't know what that surface is made of. We don't know what the powder's made of.
Well, they do. It's fucking dust. They knew that it was dust. They knew that it was going to be like a problem. They were worried about it.
Yeah, I hear it's still a problem. Like all the equipment that went up there and they brought back, all of it got ruined. And they could only go out a couple of times in one spacesuit because the dust would scratch you try to wipe the dust off your thing and it ends up scratching the lens on the helmet and stuff like that. And they were saying that it ruined the switches and corroded switches and messed everything up. They couldn't even plan for that. Like they tried, and they were even saying like moving forward, like what are you going to do? Have to coat everything in silicone and try to protect everything, because it's like not possible. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna get into everything and everywhere. It's crazy.
But
I mean, that seems pretty sizable,
but it wasn't
right?
all over the feet of
it
the
got
ship.
inside the inside the.
Is that a real one, dude? Because I haven't seen
module,
that.
And it was in their eyes when they came back. Like they were it was irritating their eyes. It was like floating around in the space module, and then.
All right, so these. The
Yeah,
president.
so find without all these fucking yellow lines, bro, and show me the fucking thing, dude. Like I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
It's go on that one like good debunk
Why isn't
website
it
that I have
on
a
the
link
NASA
to,
website?
because they have a good list of pictures here. Then go to the homepage on the left.
This?
Yeah,
So the
go
president
to, like,
says
the
we're gonna
images or
go,
something.
Ed, and
Photos.
then
President says we're going.
we're going. Space
then-
race. He gives us a date. Now
Check
we
out, like,
build
individual
we
photos.
build it, right?
Well, we have to because
Oh,
you know
they got some like good
you
ones.
told
here.
everybody we were doing it. Whether we were trying to do it or not is completely irrelevant after he comes out and says that. And I mean, obviously his speech was written, so that was predetermined, and everybody knew that he was going to say that. It wasn't a surprise. He didn't surprise anyone.
So we
Everybody
build
knows.
it, but then I heard that there's the Van Allen belt. How do we get through that?
Well, they were saying that they strategically planned to get through it. Took them 4 hours to get through it, so that the astronauts would go through the least amount possible, because that's the biggest opening in our whole protection thing there that we're
So it's
we're being
like-
protected.
It's like an arc, and there's like this super danger spot right here, right? And so if you expand your arc and come out this way, it's going to take you longer because you're traveling more
Mm-hmm.
distance, but you're
Oh.
exposed to less
Yeah.
higher
So it
amounts
took
of
them
radiation.
4 hours to get through it.
And apparently, the way you recover, it's instead of getting like a large dosage, it's better to get a smaller dosage over a longer period of time, as far as like being healthy for a human.
Yeah, because then your body and your cells can handle it more.
So that's
than-
how the astronauts were able to live.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
they still had.
Is what-
There's also, they say that there's like
Allegedly.
the whatever fucking type of insulation that they had in between the two panels was like a polyethylene, which is actually the material you want to be your like shielding for like protecting against these
Okay.
types of things as well. Apparently.
And they made cases for.
How the hell would they know?
And they made cases.
They had never been there before. How would they know what they need?
Because they were definitely sending shit there to come back to see what was there. I mean, testing the
I
air,
guess
and
maybe test what's inside the ship.
testing the
when it comes
air and
back.
things and stuff. I mean, you'd have to have some sort of an idea. But I mean, this is all. It sounds like it'd be more work to fake it than it would be to just try and do it. Like if you had the formula and you knew where to go up in there, and you had rockets that could do it, and you knew, you know what I mean, then it just seems like to just fake this, to have all 4,000 people involved to,
They
what I mean?
said
Like I know
They said it was 4,000.
so you're saying you don't think it could have been? It could have just been the amount of people in that room.
Amount of people in that room.
Yeah.
That's it, just the one room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody else has to know. I mean, obviously all the astronauts would be in on it then, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I mean, there are definitely
what about
people
the
that-
fire that kills the fucking astronauts beforehand? What if
But
those
even the
astronauts
people
were
in the
about to
room,
tell?
they don't have to know about it. They're
Right.
at NASA. They have the facility, right? Wherever they were, they had the facility. They're just going based off what the astronauts are telling them in the video feed that's going through. So maybe it's just two other guys.
Wouldn't be able
Right.
to see any stars either. They said the astronauts like don't ever talk about saying that. Oh yeah, when we were on the moon, I saw the stars. No, we weren't able to see the stars. That's what they said. That's wild too, bro.
Wait, they couldn't see the stars? The astronauts?
Yeah,
Well, apparently that they went out during the day. Apparently.
and because it's so
From what I hear,
bright, your
yeah.
eyes adjust to the brightness, so you can't see the small.
Yeah. So apparently
lights of
they
the
went
stars out
during
in
the
the
day.
dark
You
of
couldn't
space.
see anything during the day. You couldn't see any star. They never went out at night.
So
Apparently.
the
I don't-
video that we see is during the day?
Yeah, that's during the day. Yeah.
Well, they're on the bright side of the moon.
Yeah.
So it's like the sun, just like you can't see the stars during the daytime here.
Yeah,
It's like
but
same
the
thing.
bright side of the moon is always facing the sun.
Earth. Oh, yeah. Like the moon doesn't spin like Earth does,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then like that was the reason why you don't see them in the photos too, because if they turned the amount of light that the camera
It just
would pick
doesn't
up-
look like it's a sunny fucking day in all the videos I've seen.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean,
Why does it not?
because the surface is gray. I guess it's not really because there's no greenery. There's nothing alive. There's nothing to be.
Doesn't it look like it's nighttime?
I mean, it's black and white. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But no, I mean, you can clearly see that it's the
super
shadows.
Bright. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's super bright out. It's shadows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe,
You know, I heard.
maybe it's just the black background.
I heard. Right.
Yeah.
You're like the problem with all this is the photographs, right? And they were like, you know, the photographs. If you know the light's supposed to look like this or whatever.
Come
You
down
know.
to the examples of these shadow angles there on that website, Chris.
And you know they were saying all that. I know, I get that. You know, but they were like, you know, the light source is coming from
Right
very
there.
very far away. The sun's very far away, so you know it could be hitting. Look, see. That's the sun doing that. To show you that it could show you different, you know, so that's not necessarily.
I didn't read what it was saying.
It was fucking daytime?
Yep.
Yeah, every
It
time
was
they ever
the
went out.
fucking daytime? You
Yeah.
serious?
Well, that's the thing is there isn't like a daytime on the moon because that side of the moon
It
right,
always
is
stays
always
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy
The dark
shit.
side of the moon.
Dude, my mind's just been blown.
So I think they're trying to like demonstrate here that you can get
yeah.
these weird angles of shadows.
Yeah,
Right. And
and
I was
from
watching
the same light source.
I was watching a video because they
But
were
I
saying
don't-
like depending on your view, right? That's why you get those like the shadows intersect instead of being parallel or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's a phenomenon in photography that people already know about and have replicated on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was I said one of these.
Interesting.
Like see how like this picture it looks like it's going this way, but if you step on this side of it, the shadow's going that way, right?
So depending on where you take the picture,
Right.
the shadow changes.
Right.
So now, if you stand in two different spots and take the same picture, this is why people would say those photos are fake, but it's not.
Well, I'm not smart enough to notice that.
Right. Well, that's why we're showing it.
Well,
to you.
that was one of the arguments of why they think it's fake is they think that there are multiple light sources like
But it's
like
not.
in a studio.
It looks like it's in a studio, though. If you look at
Right.
It
at
does
That's
look like
because-
there's light coming from.
it looks like there's light
Yeah.
coming from one
I
area.
feel like some of it still looks like it's super well lit, which is like, oh, it's because it's
we
this
gotta play a
reflective
video.
surface. It's this reflective surface.
Yo, these guys are great, dude.
Like here, this was like a good example of like them explaining studio light and like natural light.
light, because otherwise you're going to have a hot spot, whichever is closest to the light.
Well, that's the other thing is that, like, in order to actually evenly light a whole bunch of stuff, it would just be too soft. You wouldn't have any sharp shadows.
This
like
is
you see on the moon.
animation.
And when you do get the sharp shadows, they're going to be at angles. They're never going to quite get parallel unless you literally throw millions of miles into the mix.
Yeah. If you guys like these videos,
Yeah,
So
they're just
essentially
showing-
what they're saying is that like so the sun's so far away, it's creating such a large area of light compared to where if you had a light source set up, it'd be a lot closer and you would get different angles of shadow. Does that make sense?
Well, play it back so you could see it. What you're meaning again? Play it back a little further.
Farther back?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right about there.
Okay.
Dude,
So-
space lasers.
the ceiling would have to be so high, and the light would have to be
Shout out
so
Corridor
bright
crew.
to cover this entire area in
Corridor
an
crew.
even wash of light, because otherwise you're going to have a hot spot, whichever is closest to the light.
Well, that's the other thing is that, like, in order to actually evenly light a whole bunch of stuff, it would just be too soft. You wouldn't have any sharp shadows like you see on the moon. And when you do get the sharp shadows, they're going to be at angles. They're never going to quite get parallel unless you literally throw millions of miles into the mix.
Yeah. If you guys like these videos and you like this channel and you want to get more, consider subscribing.
The shadow's so dark. How is it? It's so weird. It's got to be the craziest angle at the sun, just hitting that edge just barely.
I don't think, dude.
But if the
What shot-
sun's
what-
so far away, how is that even possible?
What shot are they talking about where it's like, oh, dude, this is like, it needs 1,000 fucking miles of fucking.
Well, because I think they were talking about
I don't get that,
You
bro.
built this whole
Like,
thing
what are
in
you talking
miniature,
about?
and your camera's this big. You're looking like at least a football field-sized stage. This is big.
Okay.
Right? And it's hard to compensate
A football
with that.
field size.
The only
That's
way to
not-
do that is to stop down to an
Do you even
extreme
need
level,
that? But
like
yeah, like that's not
22,
doable.
then
And this
blast
keeps
it
showing me
with something
animation. That's
brighter
not the
than
real
sun.
shit.
No, because they're showing you
Let's let people see how long
what
the
part
shot
of it
goes
they're
on.
talking about.
So see how long this
This
shot is.
is still going. Whoa. Okay.
And then it turns.
It just got way more impossible. There's no lights in the ceiling. So if you built this,
So how are you lighting up that surface if the camera turns and there's no lights lighting it up? Essentially.
whole
That's
thing
what
in
they're saying.
miniature, and your camera's this big, you're looking like at least a football field-sized stage. This would have to be.
I
built
don't know
indoors
what
too,
the
by
fuck
way,
I'm seeing right
because
there.
It's
Do
all
you?
shaded.
We're literally
Yeah.
talking about the shot. So
No,
it's
I
the
know.
cameras attached to the outside of the lunar module trying to land, coming from space.
How do you know by looking at this picture right here? I don't. I'm sorry. How do you know that that's a lunar module?
Well, this is the
Because that's
This
the
is one
shot
of the-
they're telling you they're talking about.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
literally.
because that's what they're
Yeah.
telling you?
Yeah.
I just
This
dude,
is
but,
one of the
Okay,
shots.
but this can't just be like a board. And like it's just a black backdrop, bro.
Yeah, but if you
But
that's what he's
rewind
saying.
it,
He's
but
saying for it to be
that it
would have to be a
mega
football
scale.
field
It would have to be a
minimum.
mega.
No,
compound.
it looks like a 2x4 with a splinter off the side.
I don't know, bro.
You see
Like
that?
I could be anything, bro.
I'm
It
just
could be
talking about
anything.
what we're seeing on the side, like that whole continuous shot.
They had millions of dollars, dude. What do you mean they can't buy fucking a long piece of wood and fucking?
Like they sped
They
up
can't-
that shot.
No, I'm
For
saying,
sure.
like, what's frozen right there, right now? What is that?
That's you're
This
looking
is
at the moon
the surface of the moon, and then this is space.
from the ship, from the ship.
Okay. Also, the cameras like
Am
aren't
I
in a
crazy
pressurized
here?
fucking case, right?
Am I crazy here?
And the film is exposed to the radiation too. What about all that, dude? I haven't read any good stuff about that.
Oh no, yeah, they built these cases in order to salvage the video footage so that when it got back, they could look at the pictures and do all that.
Okay.
None of that was going to get
Well, that
tampered
was-
with because they were going to do it on Earth. They weren't going to expose it up there, expose the film up there. They took the shots, took the film out, put it inside of the protective case, and when they came back, they developed the film.
And that was
pictures.
always a possibility, right? Like
Yeah.
they even talk
They knew
about.
it, yeah.
I think it was like a week after they came back, a solar flare from the sun hit the moon. And if it would have happened a week earlier when the astronauts were there, it would have killed everybody. It would have killed all the astronauts and destroyed all their equipment.
Couldn't they have?
But they have people monitoring it. They
Right.
say.
So they had people that were, part of that $400,000 crew. There was probably a team of 5 that were like, all right, we want you guys to study the sun and solar flares and figure out a way to essentially predict.
But hold on. Do you guys think that this is guaranteed footage of the moon? Like it couldn't possibly be anything else in some like Hollywood trickery to fool you into thinking that they're
Wait, I guess
recording
we
the moon.
never-
If
But
you
that's what
watch
I'm-
hold on. If you watch this whole video, not just how we're presenting
Breaking
it
it,
now,
yeah.
they literally show you and show you movie footage, and then
it's-
they compare it to that, and then
Yeah.
they show you how it's real, because of the simple fact that it's so continuous. When you see something in a movie, they show you from Capricorn 1 when the thing makes the landing. And then they zoom out. He's like, that's exactly how they'll always do it because they can't do it from any other angle. So it'll always be shown at this. This turns around. And because this makes that turn, is like it just blew their mind because it's not something in film back in the 60s or 70s that would be done. You also have to remember when this is being done. You have to remember that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they didn't create something to do it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there's people who are professionals in this video that do it every day. They do it every day. And they said to fake this shot is impossible. It's impossible to fake this
But
shot.
maybe what I'm saying is,
I'm just rewind it to the
maybe
beginning.
they
Can we
came-
listen to the shot? Just rewind it. No, just to rewind this shot. Let me see this from the beginning. This shot. Just rewind that to the beginning and listen to what they say about the shot.
Shot. That's an actual 3D surface down there.
Mm-hmm.
You might say, well, what if you built a miniature? So when you're filming stuff in miniature,
Pause it. So they're telling you, because you just asked that. So they're professionals and they're telling you. You just asked that, didn't you, David?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let him tell you why it wouldn't look good.
Right.
He's going to tell you why you'd be able to tell that it's small and that it's that.
There's a very, very shallow depth of field.
If it's a small object and you're using a normal size camera, basically you get extreme depth of field. Things become out of focus very quickly. And it's hard to compensate with that. The only way to do that is to stop down to an extreme level like an f/22 and then blast it with something brighter than the sun.
It's not possible to do
See
this.
how long the shot goes on for.
So they
They're
speed
talking
it up
about to see how long. Yeah, go ahead.
They're talking about like the lighting of it. To be able to make the lighting like that, you would have to shine it with something very, very, very bright.
It's not just like, I don't know.
Bro, this camera, the camera,
Spray painted fucking wood, bro. Spray painted wood,
bro. The camera is from the 60s, bro. Can we just please remember that this camera isn't the best. It's the best at that moment. It isn't the best today.
And like you're saying, like how would they fake this, right? These guys are processing that in their head because they do this for a living.
That's what they do.
If they were gonna fake this shot, they were telling you how they would fake it, and then they're telling you the problems that they would come into, and the problem and how they're not seeing those problems in this shot. Right?
Proving to you in their eyes that this is a real shot to them.
But what if they had? What I'm saying is, they obviously, if they were going to fake it, they would have had to test all of this stuff to know, right?
In the 60s? Dude, you're like they literally, you have to watch this whole video because the whole video they show you. They literally show you shots from Capricorn 1, and then they show you actual video footage from Apollo 11, and it doesn't even add up. It doesn't stack up. If we can find that shot, you know what I'm talking about?
It can't just be badly like computer generated as well.
Well, that's what he's saying. They're saying they were comparing 2001: Space Odyssey,
which was bar none, hands down, the best film of all time at that moment. Like there was no other space film better than that. It's also what you have to take in consideration. This is in the 60s, bro. So could we please not pretend like this is the 2000s and technology is just everywhere right now? The technology that's happening back then is like, it's crazy. Like the thing that I can't get my head around is doing that live. That's the problem for me. Like that's what makes me like, I don't know, dude. Like, and now you're telling me if it wasn't live, then you faked it, and why'd you fake it? And then, I start asking all these questions. There's no answers to.
Wait. Say that again.
Of them faking,
you're saying
it being live, because they said it was live, but how could it have been live back then? With what technology? And no one talks about the technology that they claim they had of that. No one has what? It was a CB radio?
Wait, it wasn't.
How long was the delay?
It wasn't live. People didn't witness it.
Supposed to be like
they said it was live, but I'm saying
5-second delay. I think.
It was a 5-second delay. How? How? I don't know how it works, but
I mean, it's the same reason. Like if we started to live stream right now.
Wait, they didn't have TVs then?
No, they had TVs. Show the Capricorn shot. You got that shot or no?
Well, this is like leading up to it.
All right,
essentially.
What about the flag flapping?
They debunked it.
And spin it. And then you have to have a little thing move across the distance. A model, I guess. It had to be a pretty big model for the amount of detail on it. You'd have to have an arm, a mechanical arm, but
Yeah.
you couldn't paint it out. There's no blue screen here. There's no blue screen fringing or edging.
Can we look at a scene that's 2001 really quick?
2001: A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick, came out just a year before the moon landing. So it's a great reference for the best of the best for visual and special effects at that time. And we can see how that stacks up to the actual moon landing here.
The best in consumer special effects.
Look how
Just
fake that Earth looks.
It looks so different. Like you can tell the planet in the background is just a static painting.
And again, we're dealing with deep space stuff where the harsh shadows are easier to get.
But the lighting doesn't match up between the planet and the space station, and there's bounce light on the space station that's coming from who knows where. Once again, there's no perspective shifts on any of this stuff.
So pause, dude. Look, I get it. Like I get like the comparison you're trying to make, dude. But I don't think because like a consumer film didn't have
Yeah, because then he had NASA come in and say, hey, listen, these are the things you got to change to make this look real. And this is what we can do. And we're going to put all this money behind it to make it look real, not like 2001.
You know what I mean? Like, let's go compare the budgets of the fucking Apollo programs and fucking 2001: A Space
I know,
Odyssey,
right?
know
bro.
that's not going to be in comparison at all. Right? You're talking about a movie to
Right.
from 61 to whenever this landed.
So I
don't
could
know
see,
how
like,
we
all
had
right,
the technology
fucking
to
spending
send
money.
it there anyway. To send it there and keep people alive. How we had that technology.
yeah, to keep the keep the people alive, have them like steer, dude, to do like measurements like that. Like
It's
that's
tough, bro. It's tough. No, I mean, it's tough.
that's fucking insane, bro.
It's tough. You guys
And,
didn't
like,
even
almost
let that
unbelievable.
finish. You guys didn't even let David cut it off before he even finished. Like that's how. That's
Yeah,
how
because it's just
closed-minded-
it's not closed minded.
I
It's just
mean-
such a weird fucking
No, but I
argument.
mean, you
dude.
have 3 dudes who are professionals at faking shit. Like that's what they do.
No,
all
I'm
day
not.
long.
No, I'm not debating the faking shit thing.
So
I'm
like
just
he's pointing out
No.
the fake shadows. and
I'm
shit
just
on this.
I'm questioning the logic behind the point they're trying to make, right? Like
You
their
didn't let him
argument
finish
of the point.
You didn't let him finish.
Okay. I mean, I think I understand it, right? Like they're saying, look at these visual effects. They don't compare. The NASA photos are realer. There's no way NASA could have faked it. Like I don't follow that, dude. I don't follow that line of
I don't
logic.
follow that line of logic.
Yeah, either, dude.
Just
But
because
play
these
it.
3 guys are saying it don't make sense.
Well, I think the part of it too is like you don't know who these 3 guys are. You've never seen anything
No.
that they've worked on.
Yeah.
No. I'm not questioning that they're very good in their craft, right? And I've seen some of their stuff before, dude. I'm saying if the point they're trying to make is like this video at the time's virtual graphics were worse, there's no way they could have faked virtual graphics for the moon landing better. I don't think that makes sense at all, dude. Like just because one thing you're citing one specific example and saying like there's no way that you could do any better because they didn't do better, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Like that doesn't like logically follow.
As in they're saying at the time the technology there to do that.
It would be
right?
impossible.
It would be impossible.
I don't. Yeah.
But if
no.
you put money into it, the research and development in how to fake this, how to make it look real, that budget's going to be way less than actually sending them there.
I don't know.
That's the point that they're trying to make, though, right?
Weren't there telescopes at that time?
Dude, there would have to be someone that came clean and said, "Yo, I built, a movie set, or I built something."
What about the guy
It
who
never-
fucking
it never
came
came
clean
out.
apparently
The
and
movie
said,
never
"Oh,
came
I was
out,
at the
or-
rocket engineering place."
Who?
The Kinsley guy,
What'd he say? What'd Kinsley say?
This guy.
Bill Casing.
What'd he say?
He worked at the place that built the rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
I was finding it hard to like confirm this. But he's like for sure we have the ability to launch these rockets to space, but and then he lists like some of these other things like as far as like doing it to have it be okay for humans, yeah.
Is not.
He claims that a
and
lot of
that
these
video-
were faked.
And that video we were just watching, that could have been a video taken that wasn't manned. Couldn't it have?
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was just one of the clips. Like they look at, because they talk about how hard it is to not get the camera in the reflection of like a mask or something. And they talk about how like in videos, and they show videos that they've shot, how difficult that is. And in that, that famous picture of Buzz standing there with Neil taking the picture of him, and you don't see like, I guess the argument for that picture was that you don't see the camera that's taking the picture or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you got it?
What picture? Yeah, right.
Said having reflective space helmets is the hardest thing to deal with on set because you always see the camera, and you always see the lights, and you always see the microphones. There are no lights being reflected there in that helmet.
You can actually see Neil Armstrong holding the Hasselblad camera pointed at Buzz Aldrin right there. So Buzz Aldrin may have not been the first person on the moon, but he was the first model on the moon.
These videos.
Photoshop? I don't know.
I wasn't going to say Photoshop. They just put something on the fucking mask. There ain't got to be nothing behind it.
Oh, like
They're
it's not a mirror?
recording. Yeah, it's not like, it's a picture.
Yeah. Said it was hard, not impossible. I don't know.
Well, you're saying it's hard now compared to, this was 2 years ago that they made this video when they were talking about it.
But aren't they talking
They're
about the technology that they had at the time, or are they saying you couldn't even do that right now?
Well, that's what they say towards the end of this is like the amount of money and effort and
Today.
and that you would have to put in to fake it would be the same to go there or some shit like that. I forget how they word it. Hold on.
On the moon.
So this was a funny April Fool's idea.
Well, I mean, it's not about the money,
I'm
though.
glad we finally got to sit down.
Who fucking cares about
Yeah,
money?
believe it or not, I think the technology required to fake the moon landing, to the extent that we would see it, is almost more ambitious and harder to do than going to the moon.
So they're essentially saying it's so hard, you might as well go to the moon, which is like that's a lot of perspectives I've heard, like from Neil deGrasse Tyson and other people who've asked about this.
I don't know who those guys are.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You don't know who that is?
He's like a
No, I said I don't know who
astrophysicist.
those guys are.
Oh.
He's not very fond of conspiracies.
I don't know. I shared a video too of Lex Friedman talking with a guy, and they talk about if you actually do the research and find the actual documentations from Apollo missions and actually like follow the paper trails of all the work that was being done at those times. That's like, then you actually have like the receipts and the actual work being done.
Yeah, it's
on
called
paper.
money laundering.
Yeah, it's called money laundering.
That's what you do when you launder.
It could be
money.
that, and dude, like it's just like I don't know if I'm like disputing that a rocket didn't like go off, right, and like fly up in the sky.
Well, yeah, because you could see the rocket. Like people saw the rocket.
And I think if
go
you're
off,
trying to
right?
fake it, you have to do you want to do a real rocket
They
launch
definitely
like that because
sent
that's
a
part of the
real
fucking illusion,
They
dude.
definitely sent a real rocket.
Yeah.
What was it, like a Saturn V rocket? What was the rocket that they were using?
Whatever the rocket
Yeah.
it was, they just sent it up. They just
of course
there
they
was
want to,
nobody
right?
in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
There was nobody in it.
What about the astronauts that died in that one?
Those ones were the ones that weren't going to be down with the plan. They're like, bet.
Yeah, they're like,
They're like, bet. And like, bro, this guy talks about like all these fucking like
How
safety
many
concerns
people
and
have
shit that just go
died?
unnoticed
How
and like
many
unreported and unfixed.
And how many people have died in connection with all of the Apollos?
This
right?
guy died. This Bill Kinsing guy was apparently he's had attempts on his life a couple times apparently.
Stanley Kubrick got killed.
Yeah.
3 days after he gave that video in the 90s. 3 days after. That was interesting, I mean, this guy's, famous movie director and says that, he in the 90s he came through and he's like, look,
That video was from the 90s that you sent over?
Yeah.
After that came out, 3 days later, he was killed?
No. It didn't come out. 3 days after the recording.
Oh, the recording of it.
Yeah. So even he's been dead.
Oh, yeah, because there's 15 years.
And so like,
Yeah.
do you guys think this photo,
What?
this picture proves that we went to the moon?
This one?
Yeah. I just like with a lot of these pictures, dude, like can't they just be taking this in a fucking studio?
Well,
It's a piece of artwork somebody created.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find, like,
That
I had saw, this isn't like a good picture, but I had saw like a better one because they left stuff there. They left the flag, they left the other things.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that one mission where they sent a spaceship to orbit the moon.
And you
it
get
took-
pixels. You
and
get
it-
pixels, and they say that's the fucking crater site. You get fucking pixels, bro. Those pictures are ass, dude. And without any fucking white arrows pointing to shit, you have no idea what's what, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, if you took a picture, if you were as far away from the moon as like whatever the distance this camera is from the moon, if you did the same distance from Earth and you took a picture of fucking wherever
If
the
you went
fuck
on
we're
Google Maps and it didn't tell you it was that street, you wouldn't
Yeah.
know what fucking street it is.
yeah, exactly,
You
same
wouldn't
thing.
know.
Satellite
know.
satellite images.
Unless you've seen the river or the ocean and you'd say, all right, I know where that is. You know what I mean?
I
Or
don't
you
know.
found a landmark.
I don't think you could fucking tell what anything is because it's just fucking so pixelated, bro. It's garbage. Like, and I don't think it proves that you went anywhere on the moon. What if they just fucking took a picture of some crater?
And again,
Right.
it doesn't mean that
Or if
there
they just
were
faked it.
people on this rocket ship that took these images, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean the photos.
If they could put a
NASA's-
camera on the
NASA's known for
outside-
faking photos, right? Like they're known for doctoring photos up, right? They're known for that. There's no debate in that.
If they
right?
can attach it to the person's body,
Yeah.
they can put it on the side of the rock or the ship,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Snap, snap, snap as they go.
They did do that.
that's what they did.
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, they did it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of those pictures were that were in good shape that you've seen. I'm sure.
So that doesn't mean that men went on that ship. That doesn't prove that they went on the ship.
Is the recording the video they did? Are they in slow mo or are they on wires?
Well, from the research I've done, they wouldn't be able to record that long in slow motion.
Because they didn't have the technology at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Slow motion cameras at that time, they
That
said you could only
they
record
did
for
know
short.
about. There could have been, again, research
That's
and
true.
development,
That's true.
money put in just to be able to, because that wouldn't have been that much for them to do.
Right. Yeah. I mean.
I don't know.
We're gonna go buy. Okay, you guys got $1 million. Develop us the fucking one slow mo camera in the world that can record 1 minute of fucking whatever.
Yeah, but it's like asking you to do some shit now, like then. Like, okay, so remove yourself from there, right? Like, and let's just say, like, right now, we're trying to do something with a hologram and make it.
I'm not saying it's not
You know what I'm
hard,
saying?
right?
Like,
And
I'm just saying that, like, if the technology's not there right now, it's not there right now. You know what I mean? They were saying that the technology wasn't there for that. Like, they weren't. I'm not saying that.
dude, I mean, at this point,
it
they're
wasn't invented.
they're already
Well, so that's
investigating
what
UFO crashes, bro. If that shit's fucking real, there's no way, dude.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is aren't there
That's the
things
stupidest
that
part
you
about
think
this shit,
we've
bro.
don't you think there are things that we've created that we don't release to the public ever, so we would never know if we have that
Right.
technology?
It's fucking like
Of course, yeah.
Black Ops shit,
yeah,
dude.
of course. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't debate that.
They
at
should
all.
be
Yeah,
able to
no.
fake any of this fucking garbage because it looks like garbage, bro. It doesn't look fucking like
It's not even good fake.
Yeah, like
Bro, have you seen a regular photo from the 60s?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because I got some. Like, I can show you some photos from the 50s. I think I got a picture of my grandmother. But those photographs look like shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're not perfect. You know what I mean? Like, they're not good.
so they aren't on wires to make it seem like they're.
No, I mean, the guy debunks that. Like, the amount of wires and then the one shot where he falls down, like, there's no way that's wires. There's no way that's wires. It's like the shot and the depth and everything. It's just like the compound would have to be just next level. There was like 30 feet. There was somebody behind him. They were laughing at him for falling.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you fell again. They were making fun of him the whole time up there because he kept falling. It wasn't the first time he fell.
Flag flapping. What was up with that?
Okay, that was, yeah, well, so because there's no gravity and there's no, atmosphere, once he put the thing in the pole, like I think later in that same shot, the flag finally cools down and relaxes. But it was because of the momentum from him shaking the pole, and it was on another brass pole. So it was only in an L shape like
Yep.
this. Putting those banners outside in the front when you were doing that, that shit falls down and it's windy and that piece of metal. Well, they only had they put that piece in the ground, which they had a problem putting the piece in the ground when he beating that thing in with the hammer originally. He couldn't get it in the ground. He finally got it in the ground. Now it's all the way at the ground. That brass pipe has no support there on that. It's just the pole.
Yeah.
The pole was bouncing. When the pole finally stopped bouncing, that's when the flag stopped.
Who's is that you? Oh Jesus.
You know what I mean? That's when the flag stopped.
Yeah,
And the
I
other
think that
thing
makes
was-
sense.
There's a lot of
It's
shit.
just-
There's
it's
a
just
lot
the-
there's a lot of shaking.
It's just the
There's a lot
momentum
of
that he gets it
shaking.
when it's in a fucking vacuum, right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes
it
sense to
does.
me.
It does stop.
Yeah.
In the video, it does stop for the most part, but it waves back
They
and forth
real-
because of the momentum of the pole vibrating up top. And there's
Wait, but
nothing to
isn't this
stop it.
scene supposed to be faked as well? They admitted to this scene, or no?
the one scene you got to go to the video that I was talking about, and he did the one shot, and Stephen Greer talks about how
Which scene they faked?
they faked it because there's structures on the moon, and they didn't want you guys to see any of that.
But like, doesn't this?
I think
look
they
more real
realized that
than
there
this.
was a fucking fan on, and then they just turned the fan off.
Right.
That's what's
I
happening.
mean, I
But
guess.
doesn't this look more real than this.
Oh, dude, the Chinese shit, bro.
That's how it should
It looks
look.
so. Chris, dude,
If
just
there's
do a little sidebar real quick and try
Isn't
to
that how it should look?
just look for videos of Chinese space station, please, God, dude. Dude, it's so fucking whack. I really hope there's a fucking good video showing what I'm talking about right now. Because I didn't pull anything up, but like,
What is it supposed to be?
it just looks so fake, dude.
You're getting
No,
canceled.
don't go to the images. Look at the videos.
You're getting canceled.
Chill.
You're scrolling. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any fucking images.
Scroll up. Right there. There's people in suits there.
Which one? This one?
All right, let's check that one out. Let's see if it's decent. NBC News, all right? So it's got to be official, right?
It's gotta be official.
Oh, dude. This one doesn't look too bad.
What is that?
This is
Their space station,
their
apparently.
space station, China's.
Is it? Is it really a space station or is it in a studio?
Dude, they had a camera pointed outside too, man, and I swear to God, it was like a fucking video game animation. It was so it was like PS1 video game animation. It was so great.
Wait, they don't have suits on?
No, they're just...
No,
And
they're-
they're
they're-
floating
pressurized.
around?
No, they're in a pressurized environment.
Yeah,
But they're floating around still.
Yeah, there's no gravity still.
Yeah, it's pressurized, but you're not in a vacuum, but it's still zero G.
Unreal, dude.
All right, well, that was a letdown. I should have came prepared with that video because it's just fucking hilarious.
Hey man, I mean, look, it's just crazy. It's an interesting topic. I mean, obviously somewhere along the lines, right, this whole thing got out of hand, and it was brought to the light, right? Because the first guy said that book, he had that book and said that it was a hoax and all of that, and he put a bunch of stuff in there on why.
What about Buzz Aldrin? Didn't he say it never happened?
Buzz had a mental breakdown. Buzz had a mental breakdown.
There's a lot of weird.
I was
videos
thinking about
of
this
him,
too,
man.
because like, you see the clip of the guy following Buzz around and saying like, "Why'd you fake the moon landing?" Blah blah blah. And then Buzz just like socks him, right?
Yeah.
And like that was like the start of like, okay, why would he get so mad, and why would he get so mad he hit him unless he was right? And it's like, I don't know. Like
They're getting harassed by this fucking
I mean,
guy.
he was getting harassed. The guy deserved to get punched.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, if you were Buzz Aldrin, dude, and you did this phenomenal thing of going to the moon, first guy on the moon, whatever
well,
the fucking shit.
hold on.
Buzz.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Hold on. You got to back up, though. So they got to the moon. They did all that. But when they came back, they looked terrified.
Yeah. That first video of them coming back is weird, man.
Bro, that's because what they seen on the moon. They
Just
weren't allowed
because
to
you
tell
were
anything.
saying about this heroic thing they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You would think they'd come back and they'd be like, "Woo, we made it to the moon, baby!
Yeah,
USA, America!"
I don't know. It's like, think about something that you did, and you're like, all right, I did that. And then immediately somebody's like, you didn't do that. That's bullshit. I don't fucking believe you. And then you try to lay out all the facts or whatever the fuck you want to say about
I'm
it being
talking
real.
I'm talking about the press conference they gave.
Yeah, no, I seen that. That
Where-
was very sus. They were very closed
Like,
closed off.
something's going down.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Something's going down.
But what if it wasn't because they faked it?
Because
And
they weren't
because
allowed
they
what
didn't
they actually
go.
saw.
But what if it was because they did go to the moon and they landed on the moon, but what they fucking seen terrified them and they can't tell you?
Well, no. I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
I mean, could that be as much as a possibility as it being faked?
Or they just peaked in life.
Or
and they
just,
were
So
like,
all this
what if it's more of a possibility than the possibility of it being fake?
Or maybe they knew what was there, but he had already said we were going to the moon, so they faked it all because they knew they couldn't go. So they had to fake it, but he said we're going.
He
So
did
why
say we
would
were going.
why would we never
He
go?
fucked up and
Like-
said we were going.
Like if yeah, maybe he said we're going and they said, "Okay, well, let's test this out. Let's do all these tests," and they realize, "Oh shit. This is what's here. How the fuck are we going to get out of saying we're not going to go. We still got to go somehow.
Right.
And they say, well, this is what we're going to do.
Because apparently they knew what was on the moon before they ever went.
Yeah.
It's not like they couldn't see. Apparently you could see it from here. Apparently, I don't know.
So wait, now you are saying that they did go now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm saying
If they found something.
No, if
then
they
did go.
knew, if they know, they could have found something
without
the
actually
cameras
going.
You remember the-
without
Okay,
actually
okay.
going.
You know what's crazy is because I was trying hard not to fucking come this way, right? And the only reason why I was trying my ass off not to come this way is because we don't have the comms back and forth where he goes, "Hey, do you hear that? It sounds like music," and they're on the moon, and he's like digging and doing some shit, and he's like, and they're like, "Yeah, I hear that, bro." It's like humming coming from somewhere. It's like noises coming from somewhere on the moon. And they get back.
But they're in a vacuum. You can't hear sound.
Well, they're hearing something.
Oh
There's-
yeah, they
there's-
did
there's-
say that
there's
you
something.
can't hear anything.
You're not supposed to be able to hear because there's nothing for the sound to like travel.
To travel through, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
That's interesting. That's interesting. But they talk about hearing something and seeing something.
What if they're just like picking it up in their heads?
I
Or
just
just
feel
use some
like
type of,
if
like,
they were
antenna.
doing research on the moon, they would have had to have known what was on the moon before they got
there.
Before they got there,
Of course.
And if they knew,
I
holy
agree.
shit, we should not go there, they would have had to. Like, why would they still go if they knew what was there? Because these guys came back terrified. If
Yeah.
they did go, if they did go, they saw something, but they knew they were going to see it. So why?
Okay,
Well,
so
I don't know that they knew. I don't know that the astronauts knew. I don't know that they knew.
You think that they sent
I don't
somebody
think-
up there and they didn't tell them what they were going to run into?
Absolutely. Because I know if you would have told me that shit, I ain't going. Fuck that.
Oh, you might be right. I
Fuck
guess.
that. Why would I go? Fuck that. Why would I be the first to go? Fuck that. Send somebody else go. Let him come back, and if he lives, then I'll go.
I think people would they volunteer for that.
Be
A
the first
mission,
guy on
a
the
mission like
moon.
that.
No way.
A mission like
If
that.
somebody told you there's structures on the moon, and we've never been there, and we don't know who's up there, do you want to go and tell us? Fuck that. I ain't going
I
to be the
would
first.
do it.
You
I
would be the first?
I
You
do.
would be the Jackie Samsonite to be the first.
Will you do
I'm
some
not gonna
shit
be
like that?
to be
Will
the
you do
first.
some shit like
Hell
that?
no. Hell no, bro. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds
To
like
be the
something
first
you-
to doing that, nah. But I do think it's funny that they admit that they got pyramids on the moon and there's
Nah,
shots of it.
I guess not.
Why do you think there's 5,000 shots and we only got a couple hundred? Come on, my G. Think about that for a second. Think about that for 1
I
second.
mean, we
There's
could
only-
go look at the 5,000.
There 5,000 are on there. All 5,000 are there.
I'm sure I haven't looked. Because once I heard there was 5,000, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
let me look at some of these hand-picked ones.
Look at the ones NASA wants you to see.
Right?
Sidebar, did you guys see? This is like an image, I guess, from a rover on Mars, and they're saying it looks like a dragon scales or something.
Oh, here we go.
There's dragons on
Let's keep
Mars.
the propaganda pushing. Let's keep the
Right.
propaganda fucking rolling.
Fucking the rover they got on that Canadian island, bro.
Right.
Right? Isn't that the one that looks like
The
Mars?
Mirror. What website's this? The Mirror. Oh man.
It's a UK website.
Well, I mean,
It's-
looking
it's
at this,
credited.
dude, clearly you would have needed a fucking 3-mile football field to
Yeah,
fucking make that shot,
They did
bro.
that in a shoebox.
Well, that was the point I wanted to bring up
Size
too.
15.
If Elon Musk ends up going to Mars within the next
It's definitely fake.
5-10 years,
It's definitely faked, right? Yeah, for sure, dude.
I'm kidding.
Well, then that's the net.
I'm just-
but does that prove it?
No, but here's another one: is why the fuck
Okay, so
haven't we
you-
been back?
Yeah, thank you, James.
Because
Thank you. I've been
they're
waiting, bro.
terrified, and
I've
they
been
were told-
fucking waiting.
They were told by the motherfuckers up there, you're not allowed to come back.
Yeah, there's nothing up there anyways.
So then, dude, it was definitely just a PR stunt, then, dude, and it's all just fucking fake, bro. Like if you're only gonna
What
go
if
one
they're
time,
terrified and made a
So
deal
there's
that they
either
won't go back.
so technically there's either only one of two things are real. They either didn't go,
and
and
they fucking went and they're terrified and never
and
go
they
back.
went and they were terrified and they're
That's what I got out of this.
so
That's
either way, they fucking
That's
faked
it.
it, bro.
That's why
either
I
way
said-
they lied to us somehow.
Agreed.
They lied to us somehow.
No denying that, for sure. Yeah.
Or you could be the normal guy.
Wait,
like,
so
dude,
wait, hold on.
this
No
is
way
all
the
real.
government went,
Wait
they
a
would
second.
never
This is-
fuck me, and they clean my roads every day.
So this is what this means.
They would never fuck me.
It means they went to the moon, or aliens are real.
What do you mean aliens are real? What if it's just the fucking
What if it's
Illuminati
just-
base?
What if
dude?
it's just us from the future, dude? Like, why does it have to be aliens?
There's no
Why
thing.
can't it-
There's no such thing as us. In the
Instead of saying
future.
aliens, say like
Why
there's
not?
there's an advanced fucking
AI
species,
kills us.
potentially a breakaway species.
That's what I figured out.
That's too easy, dude.
Of
You're
humans.
telling me not one group of people got away and broke away Civ? Come on, dude. Get out of here with that. You move so far in advance. Come on. Let's go grab a piece of property and build our own houses on it, and we'll create our own civilization. You're telling me somebody didn't do that?
The technology would be so good they'd be able to scan the entire world to see wherever you were.
What?
Now you're just watching way too much fucking Star Trek.
No,
That's it.
I'm
He's done for the rest of the night. No way.
What's up?
Shutting you down there.
talking about how deep AI can get in terms of like.
Whoa, AI. Hold on. What?
I mean, look, I'm not going to debate it because it's yeah. I mean, that's an easy scenario. I'm sure the percentage is high on this. I'm sure after you calculate all the ways that we could potentially and possibly have end in a cataclysm, it could definitely easily be some kind of solar anomaly, or we built and created bots that end up making master molds that just pump these things out, and now we're
Can
obsolete.
you go into
Password.
that fucking guy, the Thomas
Cancel.
guy, Chris, the Wikipedia of him?
Cancel.
Do what now?
Look at the
Got him.
Wikipedia of the Thomas guy here. He was a quality control and safety inspector for North American Aviation. They built the Apollo command module and like a couple other things.
This guy don't know shit.
And then they built
Wasn't
like
that guy that said,
built the
"Man, those
shuttle."
things were pieces of shit. They couldn't have flown."
oh yeah, well dude, like he starts like roasting everyone in this like report, and then he like ends up going to Congress and shit. All right, so blah, we don't need to figure out where he was fucking born, blah blah blah. Yeah, all right,
How'd he
scroll back
die?
up.
How'd he die? How'd
Yeah,
he die?
unexpectedly.
Pause.
Does it say unexpectedly?
Yes. So compiled a 169-page report critical of safety standards at North American Aviation and leaked his report to the media. So he brought it up, dude, and no one was doing anything about it. He leaks it. Afterwards, they fire him. After Apollo 1 fire, he wrote a 275-page report on NASA safety protocol violations, which he gave to the senator, and they bring it up in the committees that are in charge of overseeing the project, dude. And if you go to the other link I sent you, it's probably the next one in line here, Chris. No.
First one.
It's like a PDF link. I have like some of the report that was talked about in the fucking we'll cover his death here while Chris is looking for this shit. 6 days after
That's
his
not
testimony,
suspicious.
6 days after his testimony at Congress, he gets fucking run over by a train in Florida. State troopers rule it as an accident. His wife and kids also die.
Of course they did.
6 days after his testimony.
His wife and kid died.
There's so many breadcrumbs.
How the fuck, dude? I've always wondered this, bro. How do you get murked by a train? He said that it was probably because
Probably.
I don't
he tried
understand.
to like beat it when the fucking shit was already going down. I guess is what they said. Right? It wasn't like his car got like stuck on it or whatever. They said he
Man,
probably.
I would love to see that.
But I don't know how anyone knew
I would
that.
love to see that car and see which side it got hit on. If it got hit on the passenger side and the rear end was hit and crushed, that bumper was crushed, those corners were crushed, when it got hit from the side and somebody pushed them into it. I would love to see that picture of the crash site. That would be interesting to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? That somebody like you had two cars. This the said car with our guy that passed away unexpectedly. Got a car here. If it gets hit on this side and you smashed it here and pushed it forward and it gets wrecked, you should have that. There should be no hit in the back of that car, you know?
Should be a.
Was it at nighttime? When was it? Couldn't they
don't
have
know.
been
It's like-
unconscious in the car
Look
and
at-
then the
look at
car
the
just
Discord.
put on the tracks?
Yeah, that too.
What? I
That
can't hear
too.
you.
Yeah,
on the
that
left
too.
over there?
I mean,
Should be like- is there like a
endless possibilities of how.
Chrome extension something?
Yeah, but
Maybe the things didn't go down. Maybe the things
Only
didn't go
on the
down. He
worst
didn't
part.
know. He just kept going.
I feel like you can see.
Bro, what'd you do to
See,
my computer?
It doesn't. I don't know. I can copy this, I guess, but I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, try that. Oh man.
That's because it was true.
Look up what's his last name? Scroll up.
Baron.
Barron. Look up the Barron report.
That's what this is.
Look up the Barron report PDF because this ain't it.
Call me a liar.
No. At least that's not the thing I'm looking for. I want the one that's from the Congress records.
I mean, I was.
And what is
Do Barron report Apollo 11.
what is the support report?
or Apollo mission?
So now, while you're looking for that, you got Buzz said it didn't happen. Mental breakdown, whatever you want to call it. He said it didn't happen. You got the director that's saying it didn't happen. You got, I mean, those are two pretty influential people, right? Who else says it didn't happen?
Arguably.
Check that.
Who else says it doesn't happen?
There's a guy from NASA that
This
says
one?
we would go back to the moon in a nanosecond if we didn't destroy the technology.
This looks like.
Exactly. Why'd we destroy the technology?
How many pages?
I don't know
Go to,
what
like,
that means.
Go to like the
59.
We lost it, destroyed it. I
sick.
don't know.
That would only be because we're
That's
terrified.
more breadcrumbs, though. Why would you even say that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
It's just candy, sprinkling.
And you don't destroy technology.
Right. I mean, you
I
got
don't know, I don't
technology,
think
you not
so.
a building.
I mean, this guy just sounds like an OSHA inspector, essentially.
Kind of, but like he details like a lot of like other stuff as well, like them like buying parts, not recording stuff, like being
They were employees.
just like poorly managed, poorly run.
Oh, it's the
They
government.
yeah, but they still are today. Like, there's a big problem with that right now. Like,
And so the idea that like nothing could have been like like fucked with or like fucking nothing nefarious was going on here, like it would have been I think extremely easy. It seemed like everything was very lax.
yeah, you chat GBT in it.
I was gonna ask it what it thought about the moon landing.
Let's see what the AI overlord says.
Let's see what the Overlord
I have
says.
to like make, or I can't remember what my login was.
We'll just try it out real quick.
Dag
We'll,
nabbit.
we'll spitball about the other guy who we kind of like glazed over, Bill Casing. He was the other whistleblower who says he's trying.
I mean, Kubrick said he directed it.
right? So like,
And then wait, he
The whole
you said
idea
he was
that, like,
killed
oh,
3 days later, right?
3 days after he gave the
This guy gets hit by a train. This guy gets killed 3 days
he had
later.
a heart attack. Yep, and his whole family said, "Nah, he had a good heart. There was nothing wrong with him."
But we remember what the life expectancy was when we on the last the Kissinger report, right, from the 60s.
Yeah,
It was like 50s or 50 years old
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like that.
no, I mean it's just like it's just always interesting that like when it happens after you do something.
You know how
Drop a bomb,
unsafe cars were back then, dude.
I go to you.
That goes on.
Yeah, you think? Oh, you think
Yeah,
that-
of course it is. Yeah, of course they were. The design of the seat had to change. You break your neck. Everybody would have back injuries and neck injuries in them cars back in the day.
Trevor
you're getting in
Weaver.
car
Did we have anything
accidents,
on
The
him?
whiplash, yeah. What's that?
Trevor Weaver.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
What's Weaver about?
Who was that?
I don't remember. We have him written down here, but
Who was Weaver, Chris?
He was an author who
That wrote the original book that
he-
sent this in the...
Yeah, he wrote a book. It was called like The Moon Landing. Was it faked or
Yeah, and this was the original...
is it fact or fiction or something
Yeah,
like that?
this was the original catapult for the whole...
He was one of the guys in that documentary.
bro, what if all this shit is just fake, dude? Because this is like the first time conspiracies are hot, dude. You got JFK, you got moon landing, you got MK Ultra.
Yeah,
You know, I'm sitting here thinking and like,
Conspiracies are hot. Then,
hot mess right now.
you know what I feel like the possibility is back in the day before like the internet and stuff, it's you only knew what you interacted with in your environment.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
So it was like
Right.
it's easy to say they didn't have that technology back then or something like that, right? But nobody would know other than the people who were working on that technology. You right?
Yeah.
Where nowadays it's like, if I want to get good at something or if I want to find information about it, I can Google it or I can YouTube it, and I can find a channel of a guy who's dedicated fucking the last 5 years of his life to understanding every aspect of that realm or whatever.
I like it.
And then I'll find 4 other people who are in the same field but have different approaches on how they look at the information or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
I told you, who were those 3 guys?
ChatGPT said no. So I'm going with ChatGPT.
It said no?
AI overlord
I
says
said,
no.
was the Apollo mission faked?
Oh.
You should have said Apollo 11. Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You did.
The Apollo 11 mission was not faked. It was well-established fact that the humans landed on the moon on July 20th.
Oh my god, bro, this sounds like
1979.
Snopes, dude. Let's read that part right there. Read that part right there.
This?
Yeah.
Snopes, we want to do an epi what you do. Come on.
Claim-
Hit us up, Smokes.
Hold on.
Please. You're in the intro, dude.
Zoom this in here.
Claims that the Apollo 11 mission was
Tartarian
faked
mud flood, you asked it before?
are unfounded and based on conspiracy theories that lack evidence.
Yeah, I always ask ChatGPT a little bit about our topic just to see what it says, you know.
Many independent sources, including scientists, engineers, and experts in various fields, have exclaimed the existence and confirmed the authenticity of the Apollo 11 mission.
Ask him about the guy that he's talking about. Who's the guy?
Oh my god, even it has the stupid opinion of like, oh, the Soviets didn't say it was fake, so therefore real.
Hey, what was the guy's name you're talking about?
Who?
The guy that you said was dogging them. The what report?
The
Ask him about that report.
Thomas Barron report.
Thomas Barron report.
On the Apollo missions.
Yeah, ask him about that. See what it says. Yeah, let's ask him about a report that someone wrote.
Of course not.
PDF, dude.
Yeah, specify.
No.
Barron was assigned to investigate the
It's
Apollo
AI.
1 fire, which occurred during the ground. Oh, so he was like, that the fire blew up, and they're like, all right, we got to get a safety guy on this just to make sure this shit.
Mm-hmm.
They claimed the report was.
But he wasn't like a safety. He was like someone there before. He was doing all this stuff. They didn't fix it, obviously. He leaks his stuff to the media. He gets fired. And then a senator from Congress like wants him to come down and like get a bigger report. He goes to Congress and then he says he's going to deliver like a 500-page report. And then he gets murked 5 days later.
See,
I mean, having worked in manufacturing, dude, it's like they're always trying to cover up safety shit. So it's like, I don't know. This just doesn't seem like out of the blue to me. Like, oh, fire inspector's coming?
no way.
Gather up all the extension cords. I don't give a fuck if you don't have lights in here.
Oh shit, dude.
You got an extension cord going into a
Extension cord?
What are they? Yeah, what do they call the? It's got like 7 plugs on it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Isn't there a name for that?
Yeah,
Strip?
Strip.
A
Power
strip. Yeah.
Power strip.
You got an extension cord into a power strip into an extension cord. The fuck you trying to do here?
Cancel.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just my
well.
opinion on that. But I mean, like you said, like in that report, there might be just like when they write bills and shit. You know, it's like there might be something in there that is alluding to some sort of cover up. Maybe not so much just the faking of the landing, but other things that they could have been working on. I don't know.
So I mean, I think I know where we all stand, but let's go around the room. Lizard Man, what are you? Did they land or not?
It's a toss up. I think I could see arguments both ways. So I guess for me it means that if they did go to the moon, aliens are real. There's something else out there. Because that's the only reason they'd look. They either faked it or they're aliens. And you can't say they're... So if you're saying you don't believe they faked it, you're saying that aliens or something else is real, because that's the only way they come back looking like that.
David,
They could have faked it. They could have faked it easily.
you think they faked it?
I think it's a high chance, yeah.
Chances high.
I think a rocket could have went there.
Definitely rocket could go, I think.
I don't know.
I think maybe we went.
I think
maybe we
I think
went
they're
and we
already
seen-
investigating UFOs at this point.
I
Dude.
think maybe we went and we seen something that.
So I think the
'Cause
whole
that's why we've never
rocket thing
been
could have just
back.
been a charade, dude.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why we've never been back. It's because we're fucking terrified, and we came back and we're like, look, we got together and told the UN, and then that's when the president said, you know, how great it would be one common ground to get everybody together if there was a outer planet threat or something. What was the speech, David? You know what I'm talking about?
Reagan, yeah.
Yeah, when Reagan says, you know, that if there were something out there, you know, that we would stop bickering in a heartbeat, and the entire world would come together to defend it.
Well, that hasn't happened, so...
Yeah, well, there's nothing else to fight except each other. Now that's why we're fighting each other. But if there were something else to fight, we'd be fighting that instead of us. I know that for sure. That's for sure. All you got to do is watch a football game to know that. Watch a hockey game to know that. Watch a soccer game to know that. You know, you'll fight anybody that looks like you, as long as they ain't wearing the same shirt as you. Somebody wearing the same shirt as you, that's your boy. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think we went.
Solidifies NASA as like the space agency. And then like whenever anyone else went to space, you had to work through NASA. Would have been easy for them to control the narrative.
Oh,
So
yeah.
easy. So easy. Why they got to go through them? I thought, oh, that's right. They share the space station, right, with Russians up there? Or the Russians got their own space station?
Yeah.
They
I
got
don't
their
know.
own?
I don't know. No, yeah, the Russians share with the
They do, right?
yeah. I think like a bunch of people do, but I
It's
don't
like
know.
a bunch of people up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but China apparently has.
But
their
that's
own,
in
but I don't
lower
know that
Earth,
shit as well.
lower Earth orbit. That's not really. Is that space or?
I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
It's fucking
lower orbit-
floating up there, dude.
What do you think, Chris? You think they went?
Because you can
I
see
think
it
they win
with
I
your
think
eye.
they
dude.
win.
You can see, whoosh, like apparently, right? That's what it is.
I've never seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
You have.
yeah,
It's dope.
yeah. It's fast. It's like I don't know, 30 seconds.
We were
You-
talking about
It's
that.
just like a
No,
light.
for real. It's
Looks like an airplane light almost, but it's like it's very far away.
Right.
we were talking about getting a telescope on that other episode.
You don't even fucking need
I
a
looked, they're
telescope
not
for
that
it.
much.
You don't even need a telescope for it, bro. So what if they are just fooling you, bro?
But what if we get a telescope and see the moon?
When did telescopes come
Yeah,
out?
what if we seen the landing
Fucking
site?
way
They
long
tell us
before
time
this,
ago,
dude.
a long time ago. And
So
they've
you
been-
telling me ain't nobody was on a telescope watching it as it just... And they just kept watching it and watching and watching and see where it went?
Well, no, like people
I feel like it'd be hard.
people
to
take
track.
pictures
Can't you
of
see
it.
to the moon with a telescope, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For
wouldn't
sure.
you be able to just watch it the whole way there? From a
I
telescope?
would say.
I feel like that'd be very difficult because you would have to be constantly like zooming and like slowly adjusting
Yeah.
without like
it would be
it going
blurry as
out of
fuck,
your.
probably. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to see the light for sure.
Well, there's people that like monitor the radio transmissions, right? Because they had these like big ass arrays.
Yeah.
I was in that doc.
People that weren't part of NASA either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just heard what somebody was saying on the other end of something that could have been
Yeah.
a script.
Yeah.
Which, if you listen to it, some of it does sound like a script.
Mm-hmm.
I heard he fucked up the saying. It's supposed to be like one small step for man, one large step for mankind. But he fucked it up and said, what did he say? One giant leap for mankind or something like that.
Yeah, that was definitely a line that they had set up.
Oh yeah,
sure.
somebody ghost wrote that for him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Unless he thought about it the whole way there.
Apparently, the flag was too.
Dude, what if
because
they
the
came
deal-
back, bro, and he was just like super fucking corny, like had the like catchphrase, bro, was like fucking saying it all the time.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like the whole somber thing, way better.
That was the thing too. Is in this
Could have made him a mascot.
this article kind of says it like the whole getting to the moon was just to be like, we're America, we got bigger dicks than everybody else. So then they got to the moon and they were like, all right, that's it, we did it. Like there was never a goal to do anything on the moon. It was just to be like, we're superior.
Yeah.
Like we had the scientists to figure it out quicker than you can to all the other people or whatever.
I think it means if they really did go there, have to be aliens. Because why wouldn't we be putting a base on the moon?
I mean, that's
I do. Why haven't we
That's
gone
what
back?
this
man?
says,
That's what
dude.
Stephen
Why
Greer
haven't
said.
we gone back? But isn't that okay? So they have Artemis now, right? And that's what they're going to be doing,
Right, which aims to build a long-term sustainable human presence.
right? They're like
At and
redoing
around the
Apollo,
moon.
right? They're like starting with like the ones and they're doing like the first test, but
Go
they're
to
going to
that-
try and like
Go
stay
to that
there.
one I was showing you. With,
Apparently with
Stephen
these.
Greer.
What if you built like a building, like a mall, like a city, like a
Right?
like a cruise
like
ship?
like a dome, bro. Like they're just recording
You
in one of
can
these domes.
Yeah.
Which one was it? I
I
don't
think,
know.
I think it's that one up,
This one?
right there. Yeah,
This one?
yeah. And then just go to a little bit until you see him start. Until you see Stephen Greer. But yeah, I mean, this one's interesting because he's like basically explaining to you, you know, why they had to do what they had to do. So just go a little bit until you see him, and then see where that's at. But this was an interesting, a definitely different angle, an interesting angle to, you know, to everything that they were talking about, debunking and everything. I thought it was in this one. No?
Doesn't look like it.
Wow. Maybe go down. Down one more. That one?
This one?
Yeah, try that one. So you see Stephen.
And we also have to believe that they went to the moon and that the flying saucers were over there, and whatever those were, let us live.
Right?
They're like, go back to your people, tell them what you saw here today. Some Mongolian or some shit like that.
Yeah, they like took off a couple fingers and they're like,
Like, you come back here again, this is what you're gonna get.
no, they were just like, yeah, bro, we didn't think you were gonna make it. We were watching, bro. We were a little worried. We thought,
How long is it going to take you guys to get here? No, but seriously, if they saw something, you're saying that they saw something, but whatever it was didn't see them? Or you're just saying it was just old, torn down structures? I thought they actually saw, like, UFOs there.
what does Greer say here?
I don't know. I can't find what he's talking about.
Well, apparently, like, yeah, I mean, they saw structures. There's pyramids. There's fucking. I'm sure they went on like the dark side of the moon.
They didn't say anything about going to the dark side of the moon.
Why would
Maybe they went in one of the craters.
Are you serious? You're gonna tell me you went there and you didn't go to the other side?
Okay, here's another perspective.
the
James.
math?
Maybe they did go for real, right? They saw like all this shit, whatever. They faked it, but like now they've continued to go back. They just never like told anyone about it.
That could be a huge possibility, right? Because like this whole
I don't know, but don't people still have telescopes?
Yeah, but like I don't know, they get away with it doing something sneaky, dude. On like some other. It's a SpaceX launch. That's what we're doing, right? And fucking,
know, but
he shoots his fucking millionth rocket up into fucking space, dude. Right? No one questions it. No one's fucking sitting here like, oh, let me watch the fucking 7,000th fucking SpaceX launch, dude. Like,
right. Well, that's the extent of most people, right? They see the rocket go up, they're like, whoa, and then they go to work or go to class or watch a YouTube video, Netflix, whatever the fuck, you know.
But I would think with today, with the internet and everything, there's something that's recording it the entire time,
sure, yeah.
right?
Today, yeah, I would say now.
But if you're David, you don't believe any of that.
I don't know back then.
Yeah, definitely not back then. That could record.
I don't know. I think like some of that could be real, but like, I think the rocket could do it.
Do you think the Mars rover is real? And the pictures it sends back?
I'm not sure, man.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Couldn't judge.
I think you could fake it, right?
Oh, for sure. You know what one thing that tripped me out on this video in the very beginning was they were talking about a scene like where they set up a camera and the two astronauts were like standing there near it, and then they start like running into the background, and they're sitting there and they're like, this looks really fake. It looks like, you know, a green screen or whatever is set up in the back. But then as the astronauts start running to that backdrop, you're like, it breaks that line where like where they thought the green screen would be. And it kind of tripped me out because it's like you're looking at it, there's no horizon or anything because there's no atmosphere. So it looks like it's a lot closer than it really is.
It could be an enormous green screen.
But no, I'm saying like
What
if he
it's out
kept
in the
running,
desert doing it, dude.
if he just kept running, you know, like hold on, let me find like the
He
picture.
didn't keep running though. He stopped at some point. It's not like it was.
Well, yeah, they don't show the whole clip.
Of course they don't.
Not on this video, I mean.
I never seen a continuous.
I don't know why I
clip.
can't find it.
So see, like, this is what they're talking about, right? Is like, this looks like it's really close, right? Maybe 10 yards from where, like, this guy's standing, right? Or some shit
looks like it
that.
could be like they're on like a cliff almost. I don't know.
But that's what they're saying, right? Is like, it looks like this is a green screen and they're standing on this, right? But then as it continues to play, he runs back here and like becomes very, very small. And then you start to realize in that aspect, like, wow,
They don't just shrink him.
this is really far away. No, because it's like a continuous shot.
But it's just like frames, right?
Why does this look
No.
Like each, like I know there was like fast, like
Play it. Rewind it.
like hertz
play
or
it.
whatever, like for frames. A lot of frames.
Was that
a
just
second,
like a clip
but
of it? I don't know. I'm trying to find where they were talking about it.
could they not just like painstakingly do like every frame? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm sure if they wanted to, right?
Or do the frames that they needed. I don't know.
Okay, I got a
Let's-
question.
Go ahead.
Since the president said we're going, if
We're
they
going.
realized
Back to
that
the
they
moon.
couldn't go, do you think the government would have faked it?
Yeah, for sure. Right? Like if you go with like even if you go with the whole narrative of like we're just doing this as a space race with Russia, for sure they're still gonna fake it because it's gonna give like super propaganda boost, dude. Everyone's like, yeah, let's go. We're number one. We beat Russia.
America's got the bigger
And, like, we made Russia use all that money for nothing. You fucking loser.
It's like, oh, we put a flag on the moon. It's ours.
Yeah. we're never gonna go back, but we won.
We're never going
Like,
back.
dude, I don't know.
That's what's so funny about this article I pulled up.
Probably
is,
do it, but
is
like-
it was literally like it literally says that.
See, that's the thing. Why did they have to go? Like you're talking about how
like at the time it's like a huge technological like, oh wow,
China,
we're so good.
how China verified that our stuff is there.
Yeah.
Why couldn't have we put it there later on? They didn't go up right then, did they?
No, they went way later, right? 2000s?
Right? Like we could have went later. I just don't understand how we had technology to do it then and live. People.
Man, I can't find that video. Fucking save my life.
I know we've watched so many videos, so like
I know. And I'm running through all of them.
I'd go back in a nanosecond.
Yeah, I have that in Discord. I put it in Discord to put up.
Yeah, you would think we'd have people just that live on the moon by now.
that was one thing I was going to say about Buzz and the astronaut, right? Like, so say they did go, they went to the moon, they landed on the moon, they came back here, and they're just, that's it. You'll like, I feel like you could nothing you could do in life would peak that, right?
Right?
Like
Yeah.
being the people that went to the moon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, do we have that video of them fucking sad moping out of the fucking thing to do the press conference?
I pulled up.
They have to be happy
Here we
right
go,
then.
yeah.
There's no reason
that's
for them
pictures
to
of
be
it.
sad right then,
Here we go.
unless they saw something.
It really looks like they seen something here because they just this is a perfect representation of like you come back, you've just done the greatest thing in the whole wide world, and then you look at them and this is what they look like.
Should I just go like somewhere in the middle
Yeah.
here?
I mean, we got them when they're coming out, dude. Just start there.
Yeah, get them coming out. They look terrified.
I don't think
They still right there look how happy everyone is. They don't look happy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What
This-
an audio.
This. Whew.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They don't want to be here, bro. They just spent 2 days on the moon, dude. They were traveling in space, bro. Like, fuck all these peasants.
Yeah, just came in.
And why
after
did they
landing a
only go
rocket.
for 2 days?
Well, they were on the surface of the moon for 21 hours. I think it said on one of these things I pulled up. I don't know how long the total
Such a
trip
long
was.
journey for such a short amount of time.
Yeah, well, dude, guys, you know what? They should have brought coolers and fucking set up their tents, James.
Well, Eddie was saying
No,
earlier,
They
like-
didn't bring all the shit for it.
their stuff, their equipment started to become damaged. Like he was saying, like the dust was scraping up their fucking visors and shit.
Yeah, they could
Where's the
only wear
dust in these
suit-
fucking photos?
they could
There's no
only wear the
fucking
suit
dust, bro.
outside a couple times.
That fucking rover thing looks immaculate, dude. The lander looks immaculate.
I
The
know.
fucking land site looks immaculate. There's a little fucking black, tiny ass little fucking circle, dude.
tiny little circle.
Dust should have been all over that shit, bro. Oh, the dust was scratching my
I
mask.
agree. Scratching the mask, but it's not all over the ship.
They'll show you footprints of the
he
fucking
fell.
sand they're walking
you
in.
You saw the video. He fell. Remember he tripped? That's when he scratched it.
He did fall.
He did
Maybe.
fall.
A lot because they were making fun of him.
He wasn't comfortable.
You
using
fell
it.
again, he goes.
He wasn't comfortable with the wire
He
that was
goes,
hanging back from his back. He's trying
That's
to
like me when I
flop
bought a new
around.
pair of boots.
They're just trying to like simulate the
These
gravity.
insoles are bigger than normal.
You got to play it, otherwise it's not gonna. Yeah, you gotta.
I didn't know we wanted to watch
Man,
it.
we never found the
I
The-
thought we were
the
just
Greer-
gonna see some faces here.
Greer clip.
Oh, dude.
Straight face.
That's the shot right there.
Oh, fucking. Can we get a smile, dude? You're just back from the moon, dog.
He's like, yeah, please send me back to the moon, dude.
What's the sound? What's the sound here?
Maybe 2, 3, possibly 4 inches. And in the slope, of course, the various edges of the footprint might go on up to 6 or 7 inches, and compacting this material would tend to produce a slight sideways motion as it was compacted on the material underneath it. So we feel that you cannot always tell just by looking at the terrain what the exact resistance will be as your foot sinks into a point of firm contact. So one must be quite cautious in moving around in this rough terrain.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface.
It's talking about walking in
He
sand.
said quite cautious, but they're running around and hopping all over the place.
I don't recall during the
Yeah, they were learning how to walk.
Oh, I
They're
don't
talking
recall
about
what.
Stars. They're talking about the stars. Rewind it.
what stars you call the moon by.
One must be quite cautious in moving around in this rough terrain.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see. I don't remember seeing any.
It's like, dude, you were supposed to say none, bro.
He said, "I don't remember seeing
There's-
any." That's what he said.
There's the cue.
Well, that guy wasn't on the moon. He was on the launch, whatever, the spaceship part.
Okay.
I thought there was 3 guys.
That's 3 guys.
No, there was
No.
3 guys that got off.
No,
No,
it's
just 2.
It was just Buzz and Neil.
Yeah, Buzz and Neil were the 2 that took the whatever that thing was to the actual surface. The other guy manned the station or whatever.
Got it.
Yeah, so that they were able to come back.
At the point of landing, because the surface was obscured by dust, do you see any way around that kind of problem for future landings on the moon?
I think the simulations that we have at the present time to enable a pilot to understanding the problems of a lunar landing, that is a simulator and the various lunar landing training facilities and
Our video facilities.
sufficiently well. Above that, I think it's just a matter of
Shots fired.
And of course, the little bit of dispersions in the maneuver.
She don't believe me either.
The DLI burn on the backside of that ignition, and there is no way.
Why are they videotaping her?
You get to final
This guy liked her, dude.
Yeah, right. They're like, oh, dude, he's looking sus right now. Cut.
Based on your own experience in space, do you or any of you feel that there will ever be an opportunity for a woman to become an astronaut in our space program?
That's your hope.
Go ahead, James. Tell us how you feel about that question.
Canceled.
No, I mean, weren't we just talking about something else? Can't we wait to get into the politics of life?
Yeah,
at
tell her
the
to
end?
wait. Tell her to wait.
No.
Sit down. Sit down.
I didn't mean
Females
it like
ask
that.
last.
No.
Gee.
I didn't mean it like that.
Fuck,
Canceled
man.
it.
Canceled.
I guess I should have.
Would you tell your daughter that?
I guess I should have expected that question was coming, right?
Yeah.
It's always coming.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, we did skip ahead to 49 minutes of this, so
That was a-
it wasn't an off rip question.
Yeah.
But dude, like, he
This
kind of
was
like sidestepped
still
the
the
whole
60s.
dust
Did
thing,
it
bro.
sidestep the dust?
Sidestepped
He
it.
did.
That's what I was focused
Yeah.
on.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting.
He's like, you know what? The training facilities we got are great, bro. But like, what,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
What can you
I
say about the
wasn't
whole dust
expecting
thing?
it.
She's like,
You
what about
said-
a human with
You said it was
toes?
covered, but these pictures, your fucking shit looks perfect, dude. You dusted off before the fucking picture, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no
Fucking
dust,
swept everything up. Oh, we gotta make sure.
There's no dust on his mask. It's like a perfect, beautiful glare back.
Dude,
Perfect glare, yeah. I
Perfect
noticed that,
glare.
yeah. I noticed that, yeah.
Let's get a front shot.
Look at these guys.
Oh,
dun, dun.
Whoa.
dude, are they on the moon?
Whoa. Is that a crater, dude? Is that a fucking crater on stage?
Dude, these guys are holograms right now, bro.
Until this point, the booster, of course, the first and second stages had long since separated, but this shows the.
All of a sudden, like a laser show just starts happening. It looks like the fucking Space Needle.
Fucking Aston Kutcher jumps out in the 50s and goes, "You just been pumped."
I'm so confused. I mean, CBD and all, but what are we looking at?
Yeah, this is the conversation between the three guys that just came back from the moon.
An easy time
Great video.
Look at this show, dude. Fucking what?
They don't want you to see how terrified they are. That's why they zoomed out.
Drogue, which is the dark spot you see on the upper right.
Oh, they're looking at something, but we
During
can't
this
see
time,
it.
I also checked out the proper vehicle response to my stick inputs, and here shortly you'll see the actual document.
Yeah, see, they're watching a video or something.
David disapproves. He says the video's not real.
And in just a second you'll see
He
a
says whatever they're watching.
Oh, they're
has been
watching
fake.
like a slideshow or whatever.
right there.
It's been fake.
A second small
David thinks it's
indication of the
This is the film we've already developed here. Check this out.
10 minutes ago.
These are some of the pictures.
I know we just got back, but this film's ready to go.
Fresh,
wait,
fresh off
what?
the edit.
How
dude.
long after they came back did they give the press conference?
It was like same day. Like it was like within like a couple hours, right?
They didn't have to
think
go
so,
in
yeah.
and go into any isolation or anything like that.
It was
I don't
very
think
clear.
so,
Just out
but
of
you- but you
out of
think they should have.
just out of
You
precaution.
think they would have.
some sort of precautions, you know.
I'm pretty sure it's like 7 days or something. They had to quarantine or something like that, right?
I
Didn't they have
don't
to-
know.
July
They weren't
22nd,
they weren't
2010.
quarantining at that press
Thanks, Chris.
conference.
Didn't look like they were.
No. Something suspicious. Something is definitely suspicious going on with it.
It's fishy.
It just seems like compared to nowadays, like how readily information is available to us, like it wasn't like that back then. So it's like they didn't have, it just wasn't that easy, right? To have everything that needed to be known back, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
What you saw on your TV was like reality, I think. Whenever
You're right,
you were watching on the
right.
news.
Where it's like if you wanted to find out everything NASA's doing right now, right? Like you could go to their website, you could probably find some names, call people, interview some people.
NASA shutting down, or
no? They're doing the Artemis thing. I thought, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
That's the project to get
They're
on
going
Mars.
back to the moon, I thought.
Yeah.
I saw something 2024, right? Back to the moon.
That's the Artemis thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it says to around the moon.
Yeah.
The main goal is to lay a foundation for crew trips to the ultimate human space flight destination, Mars.
So they're just building on the moon so that
They're building Denver
launching
Airport on the moon so that we could
I don't
go.
understand why it's taking so long.
I want to go. Like, just ask me to go. I'll go. Just need bodies.
You just said you wouldn't be the first one to do it.
No, but I just want to go. I'm saying, like,
No,
you
if he
go first. And
if
then
he knew that there were aliens there.
first, yeah. I mean, like, if we know that we could just ride around in ships, then I want to ride around in ships. I want to be a crew member. You know what I mean?
I just want to do a
I
callback
want a crew member shirt. You know, let me down.
to when we first started this podcast, and I was trying to get in the Space Force, but the droopy eyelids held me back.
Well, you know, I mean, maybe they'll change their tune when they start needing bodies. You know what I mean?
I don't know, the way that my eyes felt today when they dilated them.
You're not about it?
I couldn't do it, dude.
I had enough of this shit, and I got to drive now and go back to work. What the fuck is this? Putting drugs in my eyes?
Wait, no, dude.
I got eye drugs in.
That's probably really tough, isn't it?
Driving with your eyes dilated?
Yeah.
That shit was fucking damn near
Well,
impossible,
I'm saying
dude.
especially for you because of the...
Because your eyelids are 45 pounds of flesh.
You know, dude, I feel like the guy saw my eyelids, because this was a new one I went to. This is my first time at this place.
What'd
right?
this guy say, dude? It's like,
Well,
whoa, dude.
No,
that's
he
a
was
thick
like,
lid.
I feel like he was looking at me, and he's like, dude, this guy's field of view has got to be minimal. Because he's like, look at my pen, and he's like, can you see my fingers? Can you see my fingers over here? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, and he goes, all right.
He was surprised.
Yeah, he was like trying me.
Oh my God.
I've never had anybody do that before.
They're
I've
just
had
droopy lids, man.
Yeah,
It's like, nah.
like they've had me like follow the pen, but like
The
never
eyes still work.
They were like, hey, your eyelids blocking this? I was like, you motherfucker. All right.
Is that 70-30, your eyes? Your eyelids? My eyelids are thick.
Oh my God, man.
So, yeah, another good one.
Moon. Wow.
We went.
David does not think at all we went. It's not even
That's
possible.
going to be our poll question.
Did David believes we didn't go. Period. Like, period.
We've
Like,
never been, David.
does space exist?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Do
the
you
moon
believe
exists,
we've
space-
ever been on the moon?
Probably, yeah. They probably
Just
think so,
not
probably.
this one, the Apollo 11.
Just not that the 11.
Yeah.
The 11th was. You think the 11th was fake because the old JFK running his gums?
Yeah, I don't even know if they have like UFOs or whatever, but I think like the government already having UFOs, right? But I think the government like already having like UFOs and that technology is more likely than them like doing everything exactly to the T and how it's described here.
Right. I think
they totally could have launched a rocket. They totally could have like fucking faked whatever fucking photos.
They could have did everything. They
sure, yeah.
send it off and it comes back down. Then everything
Nobody
else
in
is
it.
done somewhere else.
And everybody knows there's nobody in the rocket, right? So nobody would ever look for anybody in a rocket because it's going to bust off the rocket, and that's what's going to go into the space, not the rocket. The rocket's just to get you up there, get your momentum.
I mean, it's been almost 8 years since Trump wanted to induce the space force,
And then in
What the
20,
fuck
and we
is
haven't
up with
heard
that?
anything about it.
What
at
is
all.
up with that? I mean, they've done stuff though. They're
What?
involved. They're
What did they
involved.
do?
They're like involved in the
What
UAP shit. I'm pretty sure too.
Oh, I'm sure, but I mean, like other than like him implementing it, and then I mean, I haven't done any research, but they were building like a headquarters, and it was going to cost this much or whatever the fuck. But I haven't heard any. You know.
Jolly
Are they
cool.
fighting a space war right now?
Just
dude?
another fucking agency, bro.
We just don't even know.
Is that what's really going on?
Who knows, dude? Find
Sounds
out
dope,
next on next episode of Conspiracy Commission.
Chris, they denied you because of your eyelids?
They didn't deny me, but they made it
Rejected.
harder for me to get recruited. Yeah.
Because his eyelids weigh 45 pounds apiece.
Like I literally went through medical, and like
He has a
if you
condition, bro.
if you check every box in medical, they sign you up for a job right then and there. You swear in right then and there. And they didn't do that to me. They were like, "Oh, you have to get your eyes looked at by a
Because you checked the box or something like that?
No, because I did the eye exam when I was there in MEPS, or the medical exam.
Think about how fucking close Chris got to having like a different
Right,
4
dude.
years.
The
dude.
doctor looked at him and was like, "Look, if you were
Literally down to the wire, bro."
The doctor was like, "Look, if you were a burn victim, we could skin graft your eyelids and you wouldn't miss a beat."
Look, I'll tell you the one thing that pissed me off though, right, was like, because I was one of the first people off into the building to start the whole medical examination thing. I was like the first person in line almost. I was like, third or fourth or whatever. So I was done really early compared to like the group of people that were there that day. And
who had regular eyelids?
They put you in another like waiting room, and like a recruiter is supposed to call your name and like talk to you about what job you're going to sign up for. I was in that waiting room for like damn near 3-4 hours waiting for them to call my name, and people were like coming out of medical, sitting down, and immediately going in there and picking a job and then sitting back down, and then a group of them were going into the room to swear in and do the whole oath thing to join the military. And then I walk in there and I'm like, "Hey, I've been out here for a while." And the guy's like, "Oh, what's your name?" And like found my report and shit, and he goes, "Oh yeah, dude, you didn't pass the eye part. So you have to go back to your recruiter or schedule an appointment to go get looked at by an eye doctor, and then they'll sign off on you. And then you got to come back and pick a job and swear in." And that shit pissed me off so much, dude. I was like, "Bro, I've been out here for how long?" Yeah, dude.
That's the reason you didn't join the military. Was that it?
Well, it's one of the reasons. Like I stopped like putting in the effort after that.
It was your first psychological test, dude. Yeah. You're like, how long will he wait?
Failed it miserably, bro. How are you supposed to fight for this country? You can't even make it through a process.
They're like, "Hey, Droops, get over here. You want to be a fucking cook, dude?
Dude,
come here, Droop.
Yeah,
come here, Droop. Get over here." Which is fucked up because I scored really high on my ASVAB. Not to brag or anything,
but I seen the answers.
I'm a top percenter. I'm going to say that.
He did not see them.
He's seen the answers. And if he didn't see him, he's seen them coming.
As long as it was right here. Oh, shit. All right.
Very good episode.
Very good episode. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Up in the, down bottom there, did you believe it? You think it's true, moon landing? Or you think it's false?
Why do you think they would have faked it?
Let us know. Hit us up.
All right. Are the reasons that they would fake it compelling to you? Thanks, guys. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. See ya.
Say bye to the lizard. Bye, lizard.
Bye.
This is the Conspiracy Commission Podcast.